I personally believe most strongly by, on day one, articulating the notion that people who work here who will never be hurt at work. Because it's common to everyone. I think it's an unarguable proposition. No one can say, I want to be hurt at work. It's my right to be hurt at work. And if the leader takes away the excuse that we can't afford it, then it makes it, I think it makes it an imperative, but it's not a dictated imperative. As people begin to understand, we can only achieve this outcome if each of us accepts the responsibility for our own behavior and accepts the responsibility for helping all of the people in the team to follow the right behaviors every day and to begin observing every day what are the things that could cause us to fall short of this goal, so that everyone begins picking up a paper on the floor and calling some appointed place if there's a coffee spill on the floor or water from someone's galoshes on the floor, that everyone accepts the responsibility for identifying things that could keep us from achieving our everyday goal of people never being hurt at work. In fact, I believe it's really important for things that are essential, like the absence of injury in the workplace, for them to be considered preconditions, not priorities. And I think, in fact, the more things that can be identified as preconditions in an organization rather than priorities, the faster it will be possible to move toward organizational excellence. It's on a medical care basis. A precondition for the medication pathway should be that there's never an illegible or an incomplete medical order. That ought to be a precondition. It should not be a priority, because the word priority suggests that it could change, or maybe there are some other things contending for the same level of attention. And so I think the more an organization can identify characteristics of expected behavior as preconditions, the faster the movement toward excellence can be, particularly for workplace safety, again, because it's not arguable. No one can argue that it's not desirable to have an incident-free workplace. And then attendant to that, a necessity to create a transparent environment for recognizing potential for injury, recording it in a way that's available to everyone in the institution, ideally in a real-time basis, with an expectation that when incidents have happened or potentials for injury have been identified, that within a very rapid time sequence, ideally less than 24 hours, there'll be an analysis of what needs to be changed. There'll be a root cause analysis under that, so that there is, in effect, an experimental basis for knowing whether or not, with the change we make, it actually works as we go forward in time. And then a rapid sharing of a root cause analysis and change expectation for behavior practiced across the whole institution. so that if there's a finding, for example, that we have a water on the floor problem in one part of the building, that once we've discovered that problem, we'll look at every entrance to the building, and if it's appropriate to have a rubber mat, we'll instantaneously have rubber mats at every entrance. We won't wait for people to fall at alternative entrances in order to discover the same lesson over and over and over again. So ideally, in a great system where people are getting better all the time at everything they do, there'll be a dedication to observation of things that could cause us not to reach our potential. There'll be root cause analysis. There'll be rapid disbursement of root cause analysis findings and implementation of change, and we'll do it about everything every day, not just about safety, but about everything that falls short of the ideal. So in this world of great expectations, it's not okay to record and fail to act. Identifying things gone wrong and not systematically acting on them is almost a guarantee that organizational performance is not going to improve.